The grossest block in Minecraft. Ugh, prepare to get slimy. Hello and welcome to OMG Craft. I'm your host, OMG Chad. This is the show that'll teach you how to become a Minecraft expert in no time. First, the set has changed just a tiny bit. OMG Craft has actually changed hands. OMG Craft is now owned by me. It's not being managed by Twit anymore. So first I have to say big thank you to Twit for helping the channel grow over, I think it's like a year and a half, if not 2 years, that they have owned OMG Craft, and now they have graciously handed it back to me. So there may be a few small changes. I only had a few days to throw this set together, and it's a real set. It's not green screen. So a few changes on the way. But without further ado, let's jump into the topic of today's episode. We're talking about slime blocks. Slime blocks were introduced in Minecraft 1.8, and they actually use code which was developed by the Zip Crowd, which is kind of cool because they're a group of YouTubers, and they actually helped implement some new features in Minecraft. Fun fact is that the transparent block inside of the slime block is actually made possible by the new render engine in 1.8, which allows you to see transparent things through other transparent things. So let's just jump right into a tiny little world. Yep. Oh my gosh, slime blocks! This is by far the most notable feature of slime blocks, is that when you fall on them from a great distance, you bounce all around. And you don't take fall damage when you do this. I can actually switch into game mode 0, and when I fall onto the slime block, you can see that my health is healthy and I don't hurt myself. Now, if you find yourself getting a little bit annoyed with the amount of bounce that a slime block produces when you fall on it, and you want to get down a little bit faster, you can do two things. One, see how high this is. If I actually jump while falling, you'll be able to sort of recreate it as if you just jumped in Minecraft, and you'll stop from bouncing up so high. The other is to hold down Shift, which stops you from bouncing at all. Now, word of warning that if you do that, you will take some damage, but if you use the jump technique, you will not. So here, let's switch into game mode 0. I'm going to use this jump technique, and there you go. You can see that I didn't take any damage. Right over here, through the water, through the swamp, we are located in a swamp to show that this is where you get slime in-game. You can also find them in slime chunks, but slimes will naturally spawn somewhere in the swampland. So you can find some slimes in there and get slime, which we will see the crafting recipe a little bit later. Here's some slime blocks close up. Whenever you walk through it, you actually move very slowly. This is close to sneaking, although it is slower than soul sand. There's a few objects that you can add on top of slime blocks, and those are this rail right here. Which is pretty cool. I mean, there's actually a lot, mostly any of these really flat things you can add. I couldn't add snow to the top of these guys. You can see that the slime particles do show through, which is kind of cool. And pressure plates also work, and oops, I hit that cake. Pressure plates work, you'll still bounce, and you'll still activate the pressure plate, which is pretty neat. In that you know it has all the features of the slime block, that you don't take damage and whatnot. Now, anything that is a half slab like this wood here or the cake, you will take fall damage if you hit them, and they will not allow you to bounce. I just kind of liked how you could put cake on top of slime blocks. Seems kind of disgusting, like you wouldn't want to eat it anymore. Now, enough with the behavior. How do you make it? Well, you grab some slime, you throw it into a crafting table, just like this, like you would with almost anything that changes from a single item into a block, and there you go, you have slime blocks. Now, here are a few more things that you can do with it. One is that when you hit it, oops, I thought that I was in the other game mode, is when you hit it, it will destroy instantly, which is kind of nice. It'll also drop the block, so it is a fast block to place. Now, Pistons is by far one of the easiest ways to use slime blocks. We have a few. This one's just a normal piston. It'll push the slime block, whoop, if I can hit that button, and it'll leave it there. A sticky piston, it will attach to the block, just like that. Now, the cool thing about slime blocks is that you can attach other blocks to the slime block. So over here, we have a few slime blocks attached to a slime block and a few other blocks attached to the slime block, this green stained clay here. And you can see that the whole contraption moves. Oh my gosh, if you didn't know that this could happen, hopefully your mind is significantly blown, because this is incredible that one piston can move all of these objects. In fact, one piston can end up moving 12 of these objects. So we have 12 things right here. You can see 3 by 4, that equals 12 if you're doing the math right. If we add another structure to this, it won't work. There's just too many items on this structure, so you have to keep it to 12. Now, you can do some creative things with that limitation, like you can make sure that one piston is pushing one thing that's less than 12, and then it pushes another thing and that's also less than 12, but the whole contraption together is a lot more blocks than just 12. So keep that in mind. Now, another thing to mention is that these blocks, while attaching to other things, sometimes it can get confusing on what it is attaching to. Like, let's say I just happen to have an extra piece of grass right here. Well, now that is attached, and you're not going to move anything right here, even though you may think that your intention was that the grass was not part of this structure. Also, that other pistons, here, if I can get it to act correctly, you might think, well, if I'm going to power these both at the same time, both pistons will push the blocks and maybe I can get double the blocks. Well, unfortunately, the logic doesn't work that way. In fact, this will not work, because what's happening is the game does need to decide which of these pistons is going to win over the other piston, and then the other piston is attached part of the group. So if I was to break one of these blocks, you'll see that one of the pistons, whoops, get out of here, one of the pistons does win every single time to move the whole structure. So keep that in mind when you're making these, otherwise it can start to get pretty confusing. Now, there are a few blocks that do not move when affected by slime blocks, and here's just a few. A lot of the blocks that have inventories, like furnaces or droppers or hoppers or dispensers, that sort of thing, or this this brewing stand, all of these are not affected by the slime blocks. Same thing with chests, that sort of thing. There are a few blocks that are not affected, like the obsidian block and the pumpkin block, which are not affected. And then extended pistons are not affected. So unextended pistons, as we saw here, were affected. So if we move that, you can see that it moves it all around. But once this piston is extended and it's 2 blocks, then it will not affect the slime blocks. What's pretty cool is that they'll slide right by these items that can't be moved. But if there is an item in the way, this will not work. It won't fire. So that you can create contraptions around, say, a slime door or something like that. Now, one thing that is really cool that you can now do with slime blocks, and this kind of goes in with moving the blocks and whatnot, is these guys. These are sort of flying machines which you can build. Almost, the dream is that you'll make one so complicated and so amazing that it'll one day become a car or something like that. Right now, they're not that sophisticated, but if we add a block right here, we'll set it off, and there it goes into the great new wandering wander. Now, what just happened is it hit this tree, and it can actually break leaves, but underneath here, Aha, there's the culprit. Oh, sorry, get out of here. There is a piece of wood here in the way. So if we go ahead, we can grab another piston. Let's place it down here. There we go. Grab our slime block and a bit of a redstone, and boop, there we go, and it'll keep going. It actually does cut through, it cuts through leaves just like that. It's pretty amazing, actually. Oh, it got stuck on another tree. If you could see, if you built this up in the sky, this would just go on forever and ever and ever, which is kind of fun. One other behavior of slime blocks is that now if you attach them to a piston just like this and fire off the piston, they will actually, see if we can go, whoop, they will launch you into the air. I didn't jump or anything just then. They will launch you, and this also works with entities. So let me clear out my inventory here of the random stuff that I've gathered throughout recording this episode. Put them all on the platform, and if we hit the button, bam, they go flying into the air. Isn't that really cool? Oh man, I could watch that all day. Not only does this work with these sorts of block entities, but it also works with the other entities that you would expect, like TNT. So if we go ahead and throw one of these guys down, light it up, and see if we can, woo, boom, look at that. That is pretty cool. So there's some great designs of TNT cannons that use these slime blocks, and multiple slime blocks, in fact, to launch TNT to further reaches than we have ever seen before. Now, a thing of note is all of these mechanics can be combined together, especially some of these really cool sticky piston contraptions. I'm not going to get into any of those details. I just want to cover the basics. So there are, if you basically now, your imagination is the limit, I suggest Googling to find some really, really cool stuff. But I will leave you with this. It is my trampoline. Oh, take off your shoes. That's, oh, good. My shoes have been taken off. I don't have any shoes on. I can jump on this trampoline. We'll go over here to the ladder. It was quite a simple contraption to make, and jumped straight through here, and there we go! Now I have made a trampoline in Minecraft using just a few hooks and some string, and down here there is the piston, and I put a delay on it, otherwise it was just too fast. So that is the slime blocks in Minecraft 1.8. Get out there, get a little slimy in your world, and create something with the new slime blocks. There is, like I said, your imagination is the limit when it comes to slime blocks. Being able to move so many items so quickly has never before been available in Minecraft. In fact, we've already seen that some of the most compact bud switches, which is block update detectors, have been created with slime blocks, and it's so exciting for the future of Minecraft. If you have a tip that you'd like to send my way, feel free to email me at mail@omgcraft.com. Please subscribe to the show at youtube.com/omgcraft, and give this video a like if you liked it. And give it a thumbs down if you hated it. Let me know. And that about wraps it up for this episode of OMG Craft. See you on Thursday.